a recording, they can watch the recording about running the session. So I started the recording right now. In this meeting, I will briefly introduce the platform, briefly introduce how you should run the session technically, but also content-wise. We have the organizers here, so please correct me if I say something wrong or how you didn't picture it. Um, and how I usually do this is I do my monologue of 10 minutes, show you the platform. You are more than welcome to interrupt me at any time with the questions. And then I open the floor for discussion, for questions or anything you might have. You can also type them into chat while I'll be presenting. And um, just another disclaimer, I invited to this training also some workshop chairs, some tutorials. So I will be talking in general terms for the technical sessions. How they run technically is the same, but it might be different for your case regarding who will present when and things for how long and things like that. So more than welcome to ask questions at the end. I will share my screen now and show you the platform and the conference. And yes, just to explain another explanation, um, you must have received a request to register for the conference. So you need to be registered for the conference to have access. Uh, so for the purpose of this training, I opened the conference for this 45 minutes. So those of you who already have underlying accounts, you can join me on the site. So I show things on the real examples. But later on, I will close the site down, so you will need to be registered for the conference in order to have access. We will import the registrations later on today or latest tomorrow morning. So from tomorrow morning, you have full access to the site, meaning that you can test your discussion rooms, you can watch the videos and do so. The site is open like it will be open next week. So we want you to actually go onto the site for a few reasons. First of all is to watch the videos. Videos about the papers are pre-released, um, and get familiarized with the content, at least from your session. And the second reason is, yes, we want you to test things. We want you to tell if something is not right, or be prepared, maybe your browser is not supported, things like that. So you have now 1 week to test this out, and from later on today or tomorrow morning you will have access if you are registered. You need to be registered for the conference in order to have access. I will share my screen now. Um, um, and let me start from the beginning. Actually, this is the underlying site. To access the conference, you need to go to the conferences tab, and it's the first one on the list. So right here, you just click on it. Aha! I didn't transfer it to the new site. I will need to go to the private link. Sorry, give me a second. So from tomorrow morning, or from when we import the registration, when you will click on the link that I clicked, you will get uh, onto this page. This is the live event app of the conference. Let me briefly explain the basic features. We are right now on the reception page. On the reception page, you have sponsors, you have announcements. In this announcements tab, we will post flash announcements, like maybe there will be a schedule change or something like that. Then we can go down to the schedule. Schedule is divided by days. You can browse it by days. So just by clicking on different days, you will get to different sessions. It is important to know that times displayed in the schedule are in your system time zone. So for me, this is Europe Berlin time zone. So when you open the site, you might see these times differently. They will be in your time zone. You can add your session to any of the major calendars. So just click on this. Let me go back. Click on the plus link, and you can add it to your calendar. So add at least your session, so you are reminded. Um, and as I said, you can browse the schedule through days. If you click on any of the sessions, on the rollover, you will get this uh, disclaimer of what papers are in. And when you click on any of the sessions, you can already see the first tile is always a discussion room. This is where the live Q&A session will happen, and then there are pre-recorded videos uh, from that session. Pre-recorded videos. Um, any of them, you can click on them. You can already watch them. Um, you can see the abstract of that video. You can download slides of the video, of the paper. You can already start asking questions. I'm right now on the admin panel, so for me this takes about 20 seconds to load, but you can start asking the questions, or people during this week before the conference will be we will ask them to start asking questions. So this will you will already have something prepared. Um, and let me show you how this works. So now the Q&A tab open. I can type in a test question. Uh, it shows my name, the question. The questions can be liked or upvoted. And if there is no time during the live session, or maybe the author wants it that way, he can also reply in a text form. This is how it works. Going back to the schedule, I forgot to mention, here you can filter the tracks. So let's say I'm only interested in the workshops, or I'm already only interested in the technical sessions. There is none on the 5th, but let's go to the 7th. So this will filter out only the sessions in that particular track. Main stage is main stage. I won't go to the main stage right now. This is where we will have the opening awards and the keynotes. If I go down to the sessions, if I go to the sessions, this is basically how I accessed it before from the schedule. Here is just now the whole list of sessions, and I can scroll through them, browse through them uh, like this, or I can go on the top. Again, I have the drop-down menu where I can select my session, let's say oral 5A. I will see then only the videos of oral 5A. Or I can use the search feature. Search feature works for the paper titles, for the keywords, and for the paper authors, not for the sessions. So you can't search for the session 5A here. You will not find it, but you will find the, let's say, author Mark, maybe. This works as also as a proximity, but let's try Ruslan. We will find the author, or we can search by maybe keyword analytics. So this is how you search for particular videos, or if you know a paper number, then you can search for a paper number. Expo is Expo. This is where we have the sponsors. Lounge is the lounge for networking. I will not go into it right now. You are welcome to check it out yourself. The help desk is also the important part. It's currently empty, but we will start populating it today. But you can already request a meeting. So if you click on here, you can write in your name, your email, and your question, concern, and we'll get back to you. So we will start populating the help desk with the important documents now. So In the help desk, I will put the video of this training session. In the help desk, I will put the document with known browser limitations, but the help desk is also the most important during the actual meeting. During the actual meeting, there will be a live person in the help desk. So there will be a video bubble, actually a tab here, and you will be able to chat to someone live with the problems. Why I'm saying this to you, this will be important if you have a big session of 16, 20 presenters or something like that. Maybe one of them will have problems or won't be able to connect the mic. Please send them to the help desk. You you shouldn't be um, putting time into solving technical issues of somebody. Just tell them click on the help desk and we will help them out. Now let's go to the most important thing, which is how you should run the session and how sessions look on underline. um, Let me find the one that I made. So oral 1A. I'll go right into it and aha. Um, I was testing it before, but let me close it so I show it to you from the start, from the beginning. Give me a second. So I'll start from the start again. I'll be talking from an example. Let's say I'm the session chair of the session oral 1A. This session starts at 7:15. Uh, how you should run this session if you are the session chair of this session. You should be in the session 15 minutes before the start, so at 7 o'clock. This is, again, my time zone. Um, so 15 minutes before the start of your session, you should go into the schedule, click on your session. The first tile is always the discussion room. The discussion room is where the actual live discussion will be happening. So if you click on this discussion room, it has two tabs. It has two tabs only for you because you will be starting the session. First tab is the video. This is the placeholder video. It is just explaining how the session room work. You actually need to click on the second tab, which is a live session, and you, as a session chair, you need to start the session. We will assign you host roles, so our system will know that you are the session chair of this particular session, and only you will see the button start session. Here on this screen, before you enter, you can adjust your audio and video settings, so you can test your speakers, your camera. So if this screen is black, then adjust your camera. You can mute yourself, turn off your camera, but the most important thing is that you start the session. Click on this button, start the session. Uh, and just intermezzo, I will post the link to this session in the chat box. And if you have an account or on Underline already, you can join me on this link. So I show how it works with other people. So I'm not alone in the room. So if you have an Underline account, please join me on this link. Um, um, so I started the session now, and from here on, this room is like a basic Zoom room. I can talk. So I'm now in this middle screen. Whoever joins me, so my speakers will come in video bubbles on the ribbon below. So always the person who is speaking, it's the voice is detected, and the person who is speaking will be in the big square. Everybody else will be on the ribbon below. Here I can extend my screen so I can make it bigger. Full screen. The chat box always stays on the side. You can't remove it. I'll minimize the screen now. Here, when I'm inside of the session, when I roll my mouse over the screen, I can turn off my camera. I can mute myself. I can share my screen. This is the button to share your screen. Although you are not, for this particular conference, you are not required, or your speakers are not required to share the screen. And here I can end my session. So this has a disclaimer. So because if you click here on end session, it will be ended for everyone. Here on the side, the same as on the video before, is a Q&A tab. So expect that people will be writing different things in the Q&A tab, questions, also chatting in this Q&A tab. I see that Scott joined me in here. The second tab here is the people tab. Scott, are you still here, or did you just join?
Just joined a minute before setting that question.
Mm-hmm. I don't see you on the list. Are you still here?
Yes, I think so. Oh, no, I have not hit the join live session, I guess. Or, okay, so I was able to ask a question before joining this session, but now I have joined, so I should be there.
Okay, so I want to explain a few words how our sessions work. Currently, I'm still alone in the room. Our sessions work like Zoom webinars. I don't know if you're familiar with Zoom webinars, meaning that only me as a moderator, I'm the moderator right now, and the speakers. So you will see when the session starts, the speakers will have speaker under their name. Only the moderators and speakers actually enter the room immediately, and we have the rights to speak and discuss and whatever. Scott is currently our attendee, meaning that he's only spectating this room. He can see the screen, so he sees the same interface as I do. He can hear me, so he can also hear me right now on Hangouts, but he can hear me on Underline. But he's not in the room with us, so he can't ask questions yet or anything like that. If he wants to ask a question, or if he wants to be let into the room, Scott, please click on raise hand. So if you roll your mouse over the screen like I do, so Scott, now I know that he clicked on raise hand because I got a notification here in the corner. If you get a notification, this one on the pink, this means that somebody wants to ask a question or wants to be let into the room. You need to click on this, and Scott is now on the list of asked to join, and I can add him to the call. Scott, if you can mute yourself on Hangouts and also close the camera, otherwise I don't know if it will work. Now I added Scott to the call. And I should be able to see him already. Here he is. We are on a bit of a slow internet, at least me. This is a peer-to-peer chat interface. So it took me a few seconds that he joined, but he is on the line with me. So everybody else will be then added to the bottom here. And Scott, did you leave, or did I lose you because of my internet connection? Ram joined. Ram, also please click on raise hand if you can, please. Hi there. Yeah. It's better here. Yeah. So this is for everyone else. Scott now also turned on his camera. Yes, this is how our rooms work. So if you are attendee, you are both Ram and Scott, you are both of my attendees right now. This is how I let you into the room to speak. All of your speakers will be automatically added to the call from the start. So you will be able to start the discussion immediately. But we are expecting that there will be maybe 100 people in the spectating, so as attendees, and only those who raise hands. So if they have question, this is how you add them to the call. It's also the same to remove you from the call. So Scott and Ram, apologies in advance. I click on this button here, and I remove Ram from the call. Disclaimer, yes, remove. And I can remove Scott from the call. Yes, remove. So this is how technically the Q&A rooms work. They are role based. We need to assign you roles. You can add people to the call, but this is how you then make a discussion. Now let me tell you just a few words on how you should run the session content wise, let's call it. So let's say the session is 1 hour and 15 minutes long. You should be in the room 15 minutes before the start of the session. In these 15 minutes before the start of the session, one of our support persons will come into the room and will check that everything is working properly, answer any of your questions. And then when the session starts, so let's say it's now 7:15, what you should do is do a brief introduction. So say, hello, my name is this and this. This is the session oral 1A. We will be discussing this topic, and these are the presenters of today. And you should do like a roll call, like paper number 67. We have the presenter here. Yes. So this is how at the start you see if you have all of your people in. If you don't, you shouldn't be waiting for people. You should just start the session. There is a lot of papers in the session, so you shouldn't waste first 5-10 minutes on seeing if everybody is in the call. If they are not, they might be late, they might have trouble joining. They will join in 5 minutes or so while you already doing something else. So roll call. After that, you should invite the presenters to give just 1 minute elevator pitch about their paper, and then go to the Q&A. So as this conference, none of the presenters will be actually presenting the paper. Everybody pre-recorded the videos, and everybody is expected to watch the videos beforehand. So we will not be watching the videos during the session. In this session of 1 hour and 15 minutes, you will only use the time for the actual Q&A. So let's say you start the session, you do the roll call. This takes about five minutes. After these 5 minutes, you should call out every presenter to give a 1 minute pitch of their paper, just a conclusion or main finding or something like that. This will take maybe 15 to 20 minutes, and then there will be 40 to 45 minutes for the questions. You have in your sessions from 10 to 15 papers, so it's not a lot of time. It's 2, 3, 4 minutes per paper. And there is also no good answer on let me actually close this screen share, so we don't need it right now. So there is no, and Ryan, please correct me if I'm saying something that is not as it should be. I see.
Not to correct you, but just to check what we were envisioning. We have sessions that are either 60 or 90 minutes long, respectively 10 or 15 papers. We were planning to sort of do 30-minute blocks where the session chair would introduce 5 papers or so, and then give them each a minute, but sort of have the Q&A for those 5 papers in the first half hour, and then the next 5 papers in the next half hour or whatever. Does that seem okay, or should we do them all as you're suggesting in one big session?
No, it's okay. I think it's even better. It's just that the session chairs will need to be more prepared in this, more manning the session, more leading the session. Now I want these 5 authors because we didn't separate this in advance, which 5 go first, which 5 go there. So the session chairs will need to be real leaders. Now I want these 5 people, but I think it's fine. I think it's even more it will capture more attention for sure, because if you just give 15 people a word, minutes to speak, until you come to the 15th, you will already forget the first or the second. Yeah. So yes, but the basic principle is it is correct. So we are not presenting the papers. Everybody should just, so the speaker should just do a very short, brief introduction or conclusion, and the most of the time should be used for the actual Q&A. So about the questions, of course, you should. How we envision you is also that you will be one of the. At least you will come prepared. Let's call it that way. So we expect that you have at least one question for each of the presenters in case of there is not a lot of questions from the audience. How you can get these questions is, first of all, you can watch the videos of the papers. Second, all my suggestion: go into each of the videos of your session 30 minutes before the start, because during this week, for sure, at some of the videos there will already be questions, and you can copy paste those questions and ask them in the session. So you will have a few questions prepared yourself, and hopefully then there will be questions from the audience. Here my advice is, you need to be vocal. If you will just expect that the questions will come, they will not come. You need to say at the start of the sessions, please write your questions in the Q&A box. Please be prepared to ask the questions by raising the hand. So be vocal, and the questions will come for sure. Nicole, you raised the hand.
Yes. Can you clarify, will you be giving a little synopsis on how our that they should be viewing papers before and make questions, or is that something that we need to come up with?
If I understand correctly, I didn't hear everything, but if I understand correctly, you asked if you will get some kind of written instructions on what I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, just as an attendee, like how they are supposed to attend WACV. Is that something that you guys provide, or something that we need to provide?
Yes, we will provide this. Yes, we already recorded the video, so we recorded this is a long session, but we already recorded a 5-minute walkthrough video for all of the attendees, and we will also write a few lines of text for those who rather read.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay.
Just to conclude, I'm pretty much done with my explanation. This took a little bit longer than I expected. Now I'm ready for the questions, of course.
Hi, this is Shayok. Can I ask a quick question?
Sure.
Okay. So thanks for the presentation. This is very clear, and I have just a few clarifying questions. So the underlying website that you showed, how do I get onto that?
So tomorrow morning, the latest, or later today, you will receive an invitation from Underline. So all registered users will receive an invitation email. this email will have the token for your account already created based on your email. You will just need to confirm it with the password. So it's you click on an email, confirm with the password, and you will get right into the conference. Then for the second entrance, I recommend that you bookmark the site, and the link is here in the chat. So tomorrow, if you want to try just with the link. So one step back, you will receive an invitation, but there is also a secondary option to log in. If you already have an account, or if you create an account on Underline, it's free. When we enter a registration list, so if you are right now click on the conference, you will get that you need a ticket. But when we import the registration list, even if you have an account already, the system will automatically recognize you and let you in.
Okay,
so two ways to get
Okay.
in: one, if you don't have account, or the second, if you have an account already.
Okay, and I need to be registered for the conference in order to receive the invitation email. Is that correct?
Yes, this is correct.
Okay. The second question I have is, has the session chair assignment been made already? Like which person will be chairing which session?
Yes.
It has, Shayak. We'll make sure that everybody has those. We have a big spreadsheet with all the assignments. We'll make sure everybody gets those today.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. And you mentioned that before, so let's say I'm chairing a particular session, and I should give a 1 minute, I should ask the authors to give a 1 minute introduction or 1 minute summary of their paper. What if a particular author is not in the call at that point of time? What do I do?
I suggest that you add another one, and maybe he joins for the second part of the session, so for the second 30 minutes. But you shouldn't be waiting and have silence time because somebody is not there. There might be millions of reasons for that.
Okay. Okay.
That's my suggestion. I don't know if there's a no-show policy, Ryan, for the conference.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I think we're going to be stuck with whoever shows up, and we'll have to sort out later if they don't. But hopefully everybody will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There's also one thing to add here. As I explained, this is Underline has a role-based system, and we will assign roles to the speakers. There is a possibility the speaker can't make it, but he will send his co-author. This means two things. First, our system will not add him as a speaker. This means all you need to do is, if you find that case, tell them raise hand, click on raise hand, and add them to the call, and from there on they are the same as any other speaker. But the harder part is how you will identify that kind of person. So at the start of the session, you should again be vocal and say, I don't see speakers of paper 67, 58, and this number here. Maybe there are co-authors here. Please pick up if you are a co-author of the paper and if you are willing or ready to present.
And all the discussion will be happening via chat, or will there be some verbal discussions as well?
Verbal discussions as well. So the room I was showing you only saw me, so it was a little bit and Scott for a minute. So during the live session, there will be on that ribbon 10 people or 15 people with you on the call discussing this verbally, and you can add others to the call to ask questions vocally. Sometimes I can't tell. Sometimes there is more discussion in the chat. Sometimes people want to ask questions verbally. This is how you want to chair the session, and how good you are with adding people. As I showed you, it's very easy process, but you might decide that this is that you want to say to people, just put the questions in the chat for some reason. This is up to you.
Okay, thank you.
More questions? So just once again, regarding the technical stuff, I want to repeat once again. Underline is a browser-based system. It's not like Zoom where you have an app, which app is calibrated with the mic and the camera and everything. A lot of stuff here is browser related. When you get into the discussion room, or if a speaker has a most of the problems, like I can't turn on my camera or I can't turn on my mic, it happens because we are at the same time in two meetings. We have a Zoom or Hangouts or Teams open, and that's why the browser can't get to the camera. This is solves 90% of the issues is solved by close down everything else and restart the browser. There is a few more things in the browser, and we have support people who can solve these things, but just so you know, and these are browser specific, on Chrome, a lot of users have Chrome tabs muted by default, and then they can't, everybody can hear them, but they can't hear anybody because their browser is actually muted. And small things like that will be explained in the help desk. I'm just telling them to you because, as I said, 90% of the cases are solved by restarting closing down Teams and Zoom and restarting the browsers. But send them to help desk. You shouldn't be spending time if one of the speakers can't connect with the mic or the camera. Send them to help desk, or we will have an emergency protocol of one funnel of information getting to us, so we can send somebody to the rooms immediately. Our help will not be in the rooms all of the time, but they will be roaming around. But if you need help, just send people to help desk. That's my advice.
Okay, and the other thing I just want to confirm, I didn't quite get that part. So when you are adding someone, so let's say I'm chairing a session and some person wants to join the session, the person has to go through me. So I have to admit that person to the session. Is that right?
No. If they want to, yes and no. If that person just wants to watch the session, you don't need to do anything. Everybody can spectate the session at all times, only if they want to speak. So you might have hundreds of people watching the session. You will not even know unless you click on that people tab.
Okay.
Only if you want to add them to the call, then they need to go through the process of raise hand and add them to the call.
So when they raise hand, I will get a notification that someone wants to ask a question, and then I have to admit that person to the room. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. To conclude this, as I said, expect an email from us with the invitation. When you receive an email, you are more than welcome to start testing out, watching the videos and so on. If you need help, there's a help desk. Click on request a meeting, and we'll get in touch with you during this week, and we'll talk next week.
Sounds great. Thank you, Yarnay.